Welcome to Talk Me Healthy. My name is Sherrie Keating, founder, Diabetes Care Consulting. The goal of Talk Me Healthy is to provide you education on how to live your best life every day starting today. Each show will bring a different health-related topic and exciting guests to share their expertise, passion, and personal stories. My hope is you will hear something that motivates you to make a small step towards living a healthier, happier life. Hello and welcome to Talk Me Healthy. My name is Sherrie Keating, your host, and today's topic is going to be overcoming adversity by following your dreams. And I have two amazing guests today. I'm so excited to have you guys here. My guests today are, Tom Ingrassia, founder and president of Motive Act Group.
Right.
And Jared, see if I get this right, Chrudimsky.
Perfect.
Okay, owner of Revitalized Massage Therapy in Worcester. And both of them co-writers of the book, When Door Closes, which I want to say I read and absolutely loved.
Oh, thanks, Sherrie.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, yeah.
So tell me, how did you guys end up meeting? How did you guys end up writing a book? And now I hear it's going to be a documentary. So exciting.
Yeah, it is. And I'm going to let Jared tell a story about how we met, because it's a fascinating story, and it's a story all about just being open to opportunities when they're right in front of you. So,
love it.
Jared.
Well, Tom and I, we happened to end up in the same networking group together, and we hit it off pretty quickly. I knew that, he needed some massage, so that's why he originally started coming to me to get massage, and it became like a once a month and then once every other week kind of thing. And the more I worked with him, the more we talked, and we discovered we really got along really well. And Tom was at the time, 57?
Mm-hmm.
Had never exercised at all, and I was always talking about running because I love to run. And one day he's finally like, Jared, will you take me running? I said, well, okay.
So we
why
go
not?
from no exercise to running. We don't start with walking first. We go right to running.
No,
Okay.
I go right to it. It goes straight into it.
And,
But
it was, the first couple times were, it's kind of scary actually. I didn't want to get too far ahead because he was wheezing a lot, and I'm like, well, am I gonna have to call the paramedics? I don't know what, but he kept making it. He'd make it get to the end of the run every time, and then you'd still be breathing hard, but you're like, I did it, but I'm still standing. And that it just kept going. We went longer and longer until this is in part of what's in the story, in the book. But we started like with a 5K and worked our way all the way up to ultra marathons. We're running like 80 miles.
Right.
So
what's an ultramarathon?
it's anything over 26.2 miles is an ultramarathon.
And how many marathons have you done now?
I've done 4,
and
I
I've
think
done
you've
3.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
and
wonderful.
I did my very first marathon. It was just 2 years after he took me on that first pathetic 2-mile run. 2 years later, I'm running a marathon in Atlantic City.
That's crazy.
And then we've run Boston twice,
Seriously?
including the year of the bombings.
Oh, I was going to ask that. You did?
We did.
So where were you en route when the bombs went off?
I had just crossed mile 25.
so
I
you
was
were
so I was
close.
close, and you were ahead of
a
me.
little
you
bit,
were,
yeah.
You were even closer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was going on. I because they were telling people to stop, and I thought it was just some jokester telling us, trying to get people to go off course, and it took about an hour before we really kind of found out what was happening.
How scary is that? And you continued to run after that.
Well, we had to do it the next year.
Right.
Because
Right.
we
You
had to finish
That's
it.
right. Had
of
to
course,
finish.
yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so as Jared said, now we do these crazy ultra marathons, and the last ultra marathon that we ran, I ran 82 miles in 24 hours.
It wasn't. The next few days weren't very
I
good.
the next
bet
few-
you-
yeah, it
That's
wasn't-
a
yeah.
lot on the body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you definitely need a massage after
Before
running
and after.
Before and
Before
after.
and after. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
So you started running these marathons, and your friendship grew, and then
Right.
Is that how the book came to be?
Well, it was
or-
sort of through. There was one day where in our networking group we have to do these 10-minute presentations about just talking about your business, and it happened that ours fell on the same day. We both had to do the presentation, and I usually would do a chair massage demonstration. And I just was telling Tom, I'm like, I want to do something different. I'm tired of doing the same thing. And I knew he did the guided meditation, and I thought, it just a light bulb went on my head while we were running. And I said, why don't we try to combine the two and just see what happens? And he was a little skeptical.
I looked at him and I said, huh? How's that going to work?
Yes, how is that
But
going
you
to
see,
work?
but you see, nothing ever happens by coincidence. There
No.
was a reason that we were both scheduled to do our presentations on the same day.
Well, I believe that because I went to Jared and had my son gave us a couples massage, so Jared was my masseuse, and then I went to that business networking group, and you
Right.
were subbing that day.
That's right, yes.
And I met you, and that's how this came
This
to
is
be.
right.
So I totally agree with you. It's all in the big plan.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you did this presentation
Right.
together?
Yeah, so we did it together. We thought, what the heck? I mean, it's 20 minutes of our time, and it's like 40 or 45 people. They'll give us their opinion, and if it stinks, then that's it. It was just 20 wasted minutes. But people really seemed to like it, so we decided to kind of put it on the road and try. We worked with a financial services company and a bunch of different companies. We've been in hospitals and a lot of places, and we've gotten some really good responses out of people. People like get a little deeper into their subconscious, and they realize like, oh, these are the dreams I had when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally off course, and I hate my life right now. So we kind of help get them a little bit of permission to take that longer view and look at their lives and go, what do I really want out of my life? Why am I miserable? And
So is that the basis of mental massage? Can you kind of take me through a couple of minutes? Like, how does this
Sure.
work?
Well, what the main focus and the main goal of mental massage and the program, the workshop that we came up with is called Mental Massage: A Mindful Approach to Achieve Your Goals.
Okay.
That was the original format of the program, and so it really was. It's focused on, again, reconnecting with the things that are important to you. You know, what are my hopes and my dreams, my goals and aspirations? The things that we tend to forget about. Because how often do most of us take the time just to sit back and think about those things?
New Year's.
New Year's.
New Year's. That's about
New
it.
Year's. And even with that, we make New Year's resolutions, and within 2 or 3 weeks, that we've forgotten about them.
Exactly.
Because we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, jobs, families, grocery shopping, getting dinner on the table, all that, getting the kids to soccer practice. So we don't take the time that we need to really focus on the things that are important to us, and we kind of get into that rut. And so mental massage provides you with, for 2 hours, it's a 2-hour workshop.
Okay.
For 2 hours, you can just step away from the hustle and bustle of your daily life and focus on those things that are important to you. And the way we achieve that with people who come to the programs is a combination. It's a very unique program. We don't know anyone else in the country who does exactly what we do and the way that we do it, because we have combined my specialty in guided meditation with Jared's specialty in massage. And so while I lead the group through a 20 or 30-minute guided meditation experience, Jared gives everybody in the group a very brief neck and shoulder massage.
At the same time.
At the same time, which helps you get more deeply into your subconscious, you relax more, and that's where we find that people are able to reconnect with those things that maybe they dreamed about as a kid or as a young adult and they thought were foolish, or they buried because they got too busy with life. And we actually have had people after the program tell us, I really forgot that this was important to me. And then they come back to us 2 or 3 months later, and one person in particular I remember so clearly, she came back to us and said, after going through your program, I found my dream job. I had forgotten that what I wanted to do was to work with people. She'd been in IT her whole professional career. She had lost her job. She was floundering. She said that was all she thought she could do. And by, again, reconnecting subconsciously with what it was that she really wanted to do, she ended up working in one of the local public libraries doing adult programming, which was what she had always wanted to do anyway. And that's the kind of result that we see with this. Then we take it to the next step. Once you have gotten that clarity through the meditation and the massage, then we talk about, all right, now what are the next steps you want to take in your life? How do you actually go about developing the plan, the action plan,
right.
and the goals? And we break that down into a step-by-step process, because also goal setting and then achieving your goals is a pretty daunting process for most of us.
absolutely.
And we're all afraid of, well, what happens if I fail? What if people laugh at me? And so we kind of break it down into a step-by-step process so it's not so overwhelming. And by the end of the workshop, you leave with what we like to call the roadmap to get from where you are now to where you want to be
That's
in 2
wonderful.
years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever length of time you set for yourself to achieve your goals. But you have a very clear guide, a blueprint. You know step by step what you need to do if you want to achieve X, Y, and Z.
Now, how often do you run the classes, and do you have a follow-up to check in, or?
Well, what ends up happening in terms of the follow-up, Sherrie, what ends up happening, I also do individual coaching. And so for people who want to really continue the process and go more deeply into that self-exploration, they quite often then engage with me for one-on-one coaching, which I continue to use guided visualization and guided meditation throughout that individual coaching process as well, so that people who want to really explore a little bit more and really get even more clarity can engage with me for 7, 10, 12 weeks beyond that.
Okay. And then they can go to Jared and get
eh,
massage
right.
and get their minds clear so that they can
Right, and
work
one
through that
right,
process.
and one of the options that we offer, even with the individual coaching, we offer an option where for an additional fee, we can go to Revitalize Massage Therapy, to Jared's massage office, and I'll do 1 or 2 sessions using the guided visualization while they're getting a massage from
that's
Jared.
great.
And you might want to talk a little bit about the role that the massage plays in the process.
We've sort of discovered that, and Tom knows this better than anybody. When we have a table full of people, around in a circle, and I'm doing a massage, and he's on the other side, he gets to see like that their shoulders drop and that a little smile will curl up, and we feel like it really it just opens up the subconscious a little bit and releases a little endorphins. It makes you feel good. It's sort of like a little bit of a Pavlovian response too. You feel good thinking about yourself, so it makes you start to think about yourself a little bit more and the things that you want, things you want to achieve, and I think that's the biggest thing that the massage brings to the process.
Right, and so again, initially, the program that we developed was focused on personal and professional development. But we have really expanded that in the 5 or 6 years since we started doing this. So we have a variety of different formats now that we offer the mental massage program in. One that we're finding really is where we want to focus, I think, a lot of our time now, is a version of mental massage for caregivers.
Oh, I
because
bet that
you
is
because you know
unbelievable
you
for
know
me. I know.
you know that caregivers, and I've been in that caregiver role too.
Yes.
We always put ourselves second, and we
Always.
and we get so stressed out because we're focusing all of our time, all of our emotional energy on taking care of our loved one, and people in that caregiver's role, especially, they need to step back from that role. Again, even if it's only for the 2 hours of the workshop, just to kind of say, these are the things that I don't want to lose track of in this process. So we offer a version that's not really focused as much on the goal setting, on the business aspect of setting your goals. It really is designed for the caregiver, just as, I guess what I would say, like a 2-hour mini vacation, just to step back, just to relax,
that.
to do them, to spend some time meditating, get the massage, and talk about, again, then talk about, how can I now restructure my life so that, yes, I'm giving the quality of care that I need to my loved one, but that I'm also not forgetting about my own well-being. And really, we all have to focus on our own well-being. Even in the other versions of mental massage that we offer, that's one of the things that we say is that if you're not taking care of yourself first, there's no way you can take care of anyone else. You
Absolutely.
have to take care of yourself first.
Because you won't have the energy or the health to
Exactly,
care for others.
exactly.
So I have a feeling that's going to be extremely popular.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of caregivers out there.
Yes.
And so, especially with people aging in place. And so
Right.
I think you're going to be very busy.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
That's
though. I
our
love
that's
that.
our hope.
How often do you offer these classes?
Well, it's interesting. There's no particular schedule. We do a lot of private programs, corporate work for companies large and small, for educational institutions. As Jared said, we've done programs at hospitals and other wellness and healthcare organizations. But we do probably 5 or 6 times a year, we offer programs at Revitalize Massage that are open to the public. That are the more generalized version of the mental massage program. And so you can go to the Motivact Group website to find out our schedule of upcoming programs and events. Or if you have a group that you feel would benefit from this, whether it be a professional group, a social group, just a group of friends that you want to get together, we will customize a mental massage program for a particular group.
Well, I'm totally going to be in your next class.
Good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So keep me in mind.
Yes.
Keep me on your mailing list. So tell me about the book, One Door Closes.
Well,
How did this book get written? And tell me about the documentary. I'm so excited
Jared,
for you
why don't you tell
guys.
how the book came to be? Because that's just a continuation of this amazing story of how we kind of came together.
Well, as we got to know each other and we're running more, and as we train for marathons, you're running all the time. And and Tom had told me he always wanted to write a book, and I was like, well, so do I. I've always wanted to write a book. And we talked about it, and it didn't go anywhere. And then it was like 2013,
Yes.
2012, New Year's
2012,
Eve.
New Year's Eve, 2012.
And he said, that's it, Jared. We need to do this. Let's make it a goal for next year to write the book. And right after that, the title popped into my head. One Door Closes, Overcoming Adversity by Following Your Dreams. And Tom was like, oh, that's the title.
That's a great title.
And
Yes.
he and that was kind of like opened his floodgates for like what to write about and how to get it down on paper. And it's just a philosophy that I've been living by ever since I got divorced many years ago. Was getting through some depression and then realizing my life is much better off now, even though you go through some of that stuff and you think, oh, this is things are so horrible. How can I even go on? And then you get past it and you're like, oh, I'm so glad that horrible thing happened because
something
I'm
good
here.
comes out
Here
of
I am
something
now.
bad.
Yes.
And I love
Yeah.
the story of your road trip.
Oh,
It's hysterical. Read the book. It's
Yes.
great. Road trip.
yeah.
Yes.
And that added to everything too. Just that, like things not going the way you expect,
Exactly.
and then in the end going, that's life.
Exactly. I was just going to say, that's
Yes,
life.
right.
Life is never a straight road, right? There's all sorts of different
Exactly.
side streets,
Right.
and sometimes
Right.
those side streets bring you to where you are today.
Right.
Exactly.
Usually, and it's usually better
That's
than what you
right.
anticipated.
Yes. And so the format of One Door Closes, and it really is such a powerful book. I mean, as you know from reading it,
really
it's
is.
the stories of 16 people from all walks of life who have overcome some kind of adversity to achieve their goals, to achieve their dreams. Most of them are just ordinary people, and what we like to say, that even ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things in life, and the folks in this book really have achieved some pretty extraordinary things. So most of the people are just ordinary people, and what they do is they share their life philosophy, how they overcame the adversity in their life, what they learned about themselves in the process, and then the wisdom they want to share with you, the reader, that you can then use on your own journey. 3 of the people in the book are recognizable names. They're celebrities, people that I have worked with in the past because I used to run an artist management agency, and so I wanted also to include some famous people in the book, because famous people, it doesn't matter how famous you are, how rich you are, what you have. you're going to face adversity too. And sometimes it's harder for people in those positions to overcome the adversity. So I felt it was important to have that message in there as well. So Mary Wilson of the Supremes is in the book. Sherrie Payne of the Supremes is in the book. And then June Montero, who was in the group The Toys in the 60s, is in the book. Her story is really interesting because she's a singer and she developed throat cancer. Devastating for a singer. Her story is about how she beat her throat cancer and is now back out touring with her group again. So there are all these really inspiring stories, but we didn't want to stop there because how often do you read an inspirational book, you get to the end of it and you say, more. And you want more and you say, well now, but what do I do? You know, all these people did these things, but what do I do? And so the second half of the book consists of 10 self-assessment tools that Jared and I developed. And so you read the 16 stories, you learn from those amazing guides how they overcame their adversities and how they're living into their dreams and continuing to live into their dreams. You complete the 10 self-assessments. By the end of the book, you have your own personal blueprint for how you're going to achieve your goals. And you will know when you come to a roadblock. And you know, we all face roadblocks in our lives at some point or another. You have the plan based on that blueprint that you have in the book for being able to maneuver around the roadblock when it's there and just keeping on your journey forward. And
that's a great idea.
Yes.
Because and it's a great idea because it doesn't matter who you are. I think the bottom line is everybody has dreams.
Yes.
Everybody has adversity. So this book really is for everybody.
It is.
It's not, just because eventually your life is going along, as I know, just every day everything's good, and then one day, like for me, you get one call that changes your whole life.
Right.
And you have this huge adversity that you have to deal with, and it's great to have that blueprint.
Yes.
To follow, so that you know how to get back on track again.
So in fact,
you can easily fall off.
In fact, let me give you an example. Just the other night, we did a mental massage program for a breast cancer survivor support group. And Jared and I have been doing this with this group for the past 5 years. Every December, they bring us in to do a mindful meditation for the holidays program. One of the women in the group the other evening came up to us afterwards, and she had been there last year as well. So she's just finishing her first year of cancer treatments, and she told us she keeps One Door Closes on the nightstand next to her bed with her other books about cancer. And she said, and whenever I feel down, whenever I feel that I can't go on, I pick up that book, I read a chapter, I get inspired, and then I know I can go on. And there's one chapter in particular about a young woman who lost her leg to bone cancer when she was 12 years old, who is now in medical school because she wants to help others. And the woman in this program the other evening said, after I read Corey's story, I knew that that's what I wanted to do too. And she's now pursuing her medical studies because of what she read in this book. And we hear those kinds of stories all the time, how this book really has changed people's lives. And that's when Jared and I started to say to each other, there's so much power here. This needs to be something more than just in print. We need these stories to get a wider audience. And we started talking about wanting to make a documentary. And it's been 3 years now that we've been talking about making a documentary. We've talked to some potential directors, and it wasn't the right fit. And about 2 months ago, I got a phone call, and it was from a documentary filmmaker based in Boston who's friends with one of the people in the book, the young woman who lost her leg to cancer when she was 12 years old. And Anna called me and said, Corey told me that I need to talk with you. I want to make a documentary about her, and she said that you want to make a documentary based on your book, and she's in the book. Can we work together? I want to make your documentary. Well, there, I think for both of us, there was the next chapter of the dream unfolding, and within 10 minutes of talking with Anna, I knew that she was the person to direct this movie. So, starting in January, we're going to be that's going to be my main focus for 2018 is getting this production done so that by this time next year, because I've already had a vision of us being on the red carpet. I want.
So I need your autographs before you leave. I hear you when. I bet you will be. You do have such a powerful message to share with everybody.
It is, and so what we're going to do with the documentary is we're going to use Corey's story about this 12-year-old having to go through that horrific experience at age 12 to now, just within the past month, she has ended up having her leg amputated because they decided that she's in her early 30s now, after all these years, it just didn't make sense to continue putting on prosthetic after prosthetic. Wow. But she hasn't let that slow her down at all. She's going back to medical school, and so we're going to use her story as sort of the centerpiece of the documentary, and then have other people's stories kind of radiate off of that and bring in their messages as it fits in with Corey's overall story. And
it's going to be amazing.
Yes, it is. It is, and we want something that we can take out onto the film festival circuit and be really proud of.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure you should be already proud because you have achieved your goals, overcome adversity, and followed your dreams, and you're impacting the lives of so many.
Right.
So congratulations!
Thank you.
You're doing amazing work. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you. We plan to.
I bet you do.
We absolutely plan to.
You do.
Because we like to say when we're doing our workshops and presentations with groups, we like to say that we're just a couple of ordinary guys, but we really are living, breathing proof that dreams do come true. That's a lesson that I learned from Mary Wilson. I worked for her for 5 years. She's the one who really helped me to realize that I just needed to believe in myself and to believe in my dreams. And again, I think Jared and I are both living, breathing proof because we both are living into our dreams, and all these amazing things keep happening. And it all comes down to just being open to the opportunities when they're right in front of you. If you know what it is you want in life, you're going to recognize an opportunity when it's there. If you have no direction, if you don't know what it is you want to achieve, those opportunities just whiz right by you. Right. Because we have opportunities staring us in the face every single day. But if you can't recognize that, if you see it as an obstacle, or if you see it as a challenge rather than an opportunity, you're not going to be able to seize that opportunity and to really run with it.
Well said. And I can't even believe our 30 minutes are up already.
Oh my goodness. It goes fast, doesn't it?
I know, but you know what? I'm totally inspired by both of you. And congratulations on your success. And I know the viewers are definitely inspired. So definitely look into Motivact on the website and Jared's Revitalize Massage Therapy in Worcester, and sign up for the next class, and definitely get the book, One Door Closes. It's amazing. Work the plan and make your dreams come true. So thank you so much for being here.
Sherrie, thank you
so much.
Thank you.
And so I just want to tell you, next month we are going to be talking about toxic chemicals and the role in chronic disease. So definitely tune back in. But thank you so much for tuning in today. And remember to live your best life every day starting today.